All the cool kids are talking about dark spacing, and if you haven't heard about the viral phenomenon taking the world by storm, don't worry, you soon will. My husband dragged me into it, which surprised me, honestly. Ryan liked video games and Brandon Sanderson novels, so his new mystery hobby came completely out of the blue. But I'd seen this film already. The husband pretends nothing's going on and hides his bruises, then things escalate until it's revealed he's indebted to the mob, or in some sort of secret underground fight club. I told Ryan to either pack his bags or come clean. He asked if I remembered his childhood pal Gary, the one he fell out with over an ex-girlfriend. 5 days earlier, Gary had asked Ryan if he was free to meet, and the pair agreed on a time at their former watering hole. The second my husband walked through the door, a bartender said, "Are you Ryan?" He nodded. "I've got something for you." He slid an envelope across the counter, which my husband tore open and read. And that's how he acquired this new hobby. He didn't tell me for my own protection, but after he did, he was officially free to quit participating, so to speak. Did I believe any of this? No, of course not. But then the nightmares started. Nightmares of a psychedelic realm alive with color, where kaleidoscopic demons filleted human souls and ground each segment into dust, over and over again. While wide awake, invisible fingers caressed the back of my neck, and inside my mind, a horrible voice explained how it couldn't wait to meet in an overly courteous tone. Unfortunately, my husband had already burned through the last of our uninitiated family and friends, which put me in a difficult position. Fortunately, I had an idea. Perhaps you're wondering what dark spacing actually is? Well, dark spacing is pain. It's a state of elevated consciousness, an entity that exists as its own universe, interconnected with our own. People who engage with the dark space find their minds drifting into its realm. This process begins as quick flashes of agony, which soon escalates into nightmares from which they'll wake up covered in cuts, lacerations, and ugly purple bruises. After 7 days, the entity's hold over the person's soul will become so complete they'll get ripped from their physical bodies, then spend an eternity trapped inside the dark space. The only way to break this link is by spreading a message about the realm and making 7 new players aware of its existence, hence inviting them into the game. The cursed individual can spread said message in whatever manner they choose, face-to-face, phone calls, letters. Hell, even a Reddit post would work. But once they've passed along the chain, their connection with the dark space will break, and the new players will have 7 days to do the same. Sorry. I overdosed. I don't really know what happened between that and me waking up though. One moment I'm popping Tylenol like it's candy, and the next thing I know I wake up in a black abyss. I get up and look around me. Nothing but a void all around me. I walk around for a few minutes before finding a desk with a person sitting there. A relatively tall being with a dark hood sits at a desk with a computer as the only thing on top. The man looks up at me. "Took you long enough. Do you know late you are? I don't have that much time. As of a minute ago, 40.7 million people have died this year alone. I go through thousands of people an hour. I now have a line of people to get to after you," the man said, getting up and approaching me. I stepped back trying to wrap my head around what he just said. I'm messing with you, I'm omnipresent, I'm talking to you and everybody else at the same time. I just nod my head, I'm not really sure what to say. Let me tell you how things work around here. You see, you're in purgatory right now. You haven't died yet, so I have to decide what happens to you. To be honest, your body is in very bad condition though, he explains as he wraps his arm around my shoulder and walks me down into the darkness of the abyss. A few seconds pass and moments of my life start appearing like TV screens turning on. So, you judge whether or not I go to hell or heaven? I ask, wondering what waits for me later. You're funny. There is no hell or heaven. What I do is I go through your entire life with you and show you every mistake you've ever made, and what wrongs you've done to people. Then, I decide what happens to you, he responds as his face takes on a more neutral expression. It's almost like he's not liking what he sees as my life literally flashes before my eyes. I assume I'm a different case since I'm not really dead yet. Is this where you show me how my actions have affected others and then you send me back and I turn my life around for the better? I ask. This isn't a movie, kid. This is reality. You either get sent into your own personal void where you will forever be haunted by your mistakes, or you get reincarnated. Based on what I've seen from your short life, it's not looking good, he says with a deeper tone. Well, I suppose I should return to the real world and get my life together then, I say, heading towards a screen showing my body. Something was wrong though. It seems like I flatlined while here. Oh, you're not going anywhere, I hear, feeling a hand on my back. I could have gone away a long time ago, while I still had my legs. Now, I am stuck in a wheelchair in this old house that smells of old dust and decay. I am not entirely alone. Mother is alive, if you could call her condition truly being alive. She lies in bed all day, the stench and the piss collecting under her body, paralyzed. A giant human slug. I clean her, as good as I can. Brother went away on time and left all of this behind. The sheep and the pigs and the woods and the heat that is stowing against the mountains surrounding our valley. Made his life in the city, started a family. He comes to visit from time to time. Often alone. Sometimes he brings his trophy wife from the city with him. We became his freak show. The window to a life he eagerly left behind. All of this means nothing to him anymore. I guess, soon he will stop visiting. When he passed by the last time, I told him to bring some of the yellow flowers that grow on the side of the road leading over the mountain pass into our nameless valley. He did, and I am thankful for that. We collected those flowers as kids, when life was still full of hope and promises waited behind every tree and in every cloud and rainfall and car with foreign tags passing our village. I put the yellow flowers in my tea and my water, I chew the leaves while I drink my coffee. It tastes bittersweet. These flowers weren't always here. They began to grow when Father died. We were kids back then. Found them the first time on the roadside shortly after his funeral. One after another sprouted along the narrow road out of our valley. They smelled delightful, we began chewing their leaves. The bittersweet taste filled our mouth and we began feeling weightless and lay in the grass for hours, flying along some distant seashores and over cities with sky-high buildings whose lights illuminated even the deepest nights. After hours, we woke up happy and content in the same spot we passed away, vomit and bile all around us. He was reluctant to bring me the flowers first. He knew what they do to your mind. I was thankful he brought some anyway. Maybe he did feel bad that I was still here and he was gone. Now, every day, I fly over distant seashores and endlessly sprawling cities, illuminated in all colors imaginable. I see beautiful women in expensive clothes walking down there in the broad streets. I smell hope and promises. As soon as I wake up, I take some more flowers. The good days are coming, finally. It is all bearable now. Not even the stench from Mother's room bothers me. Soon, she will stop the whining. I will fly undisturbed and see the beauty outside our valley.